My beloved child, do not turn away. I want you to see this. I am speaking to you now because this moment was prepared long before you arrived here. Many voices are speaking, many hearts are restless, and many are searching, but this message is for you. If you leave now, you will feel later that something important slipped through your hands, not because I wish to frighten you, but because your spirit already knows this is different. Stay with me. Listen carefully. What I am about to reveal hath been hidden for years, not because it was forbidden, but because hearts were not ready to receive it. I am Jesus, and I am speaking to you in love and truth. I have watched you longer than you realize. I have seen you when you were strong, and I have seen you when you were tired of being strong. I have seen the questions you never spoke out loud and the tears you wiped away before anyone noticed. You wondered at times if I was silent, if I had turned away, if your prayers were lost somewhere between heaven and earth. But I tell you now, I never stopped watching you. I never stopped walking beside you. This message is not appearing in your life by chance. I guided you here because your heart has reached a place where it can finally understand what I am about to show you. For a long time, you felt as if something was missing. Not money, not people, not success, but something deeper. You tried to name it, but words failed you. You sensed that life was more than survival, more than routine, more than repeating the same days with different faces. That feeling was not weakness. It was your spirit responding to my call. I was drawing you closer even when you did not know my name for it. I allowed certain doors to close, certain plans to fail, and certain people to leave, not to hurt you, but to quiet the noise around you. I needed you to be able to hear me. Here is the secret that was hidden for years. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. The world taught you to measure your life by speed, by comparison, by visible success. That lie buried the truth deep inside you. The truth is this: I have been preparing you, not delaying you. What felt like waiting was shaping. What felt like loss was protection. What felt like silence was instruction. Many people rush into things they prayed for and lose themselves along the way. I refuse to let that happen to you. That is why your path looked different. Everyone is talking about this now because hearts are waking up. The world feels louder, faster, and more confusing because truth is pressing against deception. Light always disturbs darkness. You feel it in the tension around you, in the questions rising inside you, in the sense that things cannot continue the same way. That is not fear. That is awareness. Many will talk about change, but few will understand its purpose. Change without truth leads to chaos. Truth without love leads to pride. I am calling you into both truth and love. You may wonder why others seem ahead while you feel still. Hear me clearly. I was never racing you against anyone else. I was teaching you to walk with me. I was teaching you to recognize my voice instead of chasing approval. I was teaching you that your worth does not rise or fall with your achievements. This understanding is the revelation many miss. They search for signs outside themselves while ignoring the transformation I am doing within. I've been building something steady in you, something that will not collapse when storms come. If you accept this revelation, peace will begin to settle where anxiety ruled. You will stop asking, "What is wrong with me?" and begin asking, "What are you showing me?" Fear will lose its grip, not because problems vanish, but because you will no longer face them alone. I will guide you step by step, not all at once, because growth happens through trust. I will heal the parts of you that learn to hide. I will restore joy where disappointment hardened your heart. I will give you clarity where confusion once lived. But I must speak honestly to you. Do not ignore this moment. Not because I will abandon you, but because moments of clarity shape direction. When truth knocks and you refuse to open, your heart slowly grows heavy. You return to old cycles that drain you. I do not want that for you. I want you free. I want you whole. I want you aware of my presence in your daily life, not distant, not formal, but close and real. Stay with me now. Breathe. Let go of the fear that says you are not ready. Readiness is not perfection. Readiness is willingness. I am not asking you to understand everything. I am asking you to trust me enough to take the next step. I will walk with you as you learn. I will steady you when you doubt. I will remind you who you are when the world tries to rename you. You did not miss your moment. You are in it now. I am here. I have always been here. And I am not finished with you. Do not wonder why this message is appearing before you now. Do not question the timing or think it is random. I am Jesus, and I am speaking to you because this moment was appointed long before your eyes ever saw this day. I have been calling you quietly through the years, through moments you did not recognize as holy, through seasons you thought were ordinary or even painful. Now the time has come for you to hear clearly. Now the noise has softened enough, and your heart has grown deep enough for my voice to reach you in a way it could not before. This is why this message is appearing now and not earlier and not later. You are standing at a crossing point, and I am meeting you here. Comment amen. I'm unshakable in my faith if you're standing strong on God's promises. I have watched you from the very beginning. I have seen every step you took, every choice you struggled to make, every burden you carried in silence. There were days when you felt unseen, overlooked, or forgotten, but I never looked away. My eyes were on you when you laughed, and they were on you when you broke down alone. I protected you in ways you will only fully understand later. I guided you even when you thought you were wandering without direction. Many times, you thought you were moving by your own strength or wisdom, but it was my hand steadying you, turning you slightly away from danger, slowing you down when rushing would have harmed you. There were moments when something almost happened to you, something that could have changed your life in a painful way, and you never knew how close it came. I knew. I stood between you and what would have broken you before you were ready. There were relationships that did not last, paths that suddenly closed, plans that fell apart without explanation. You questioned those moments. You asked why. But now I tell you, those were not losses. Those were protections. I was guarding what I placed inside you. I was preserving your heart, your calling, your future, even when you did not yet know what those things were. You are not imagining it when you feel that something is changing. Many people feel it, but few understand it. The air feels heavy with expectation. The world feels unsettled, restless, unsure of itself. People sense that old ways no longer satisfy, that familiar answers no longer bring peace. They talk about change, about awakening, about new seasons, but they cannot explain what it truly means. What they feel is the stirring of truth beneath the surface. What they feel is my spirit calling hearts to wake up. But not everyone is willing to listen beyond the surface of that feeling. You, however, have been listening, even when you did not know how to name what you heard. That quiet pull you felt toward meaning, toward truth, toward something deeper than survival. That was me. When you felt uncomfortable settling for less than what your soul longed for, that was me. When distractions lost their shine and noise lost its power to satisfy you, that was me gently separating you from what could never truly fulfill you. This is why you felt out of place at times, why you felt different, why certain conversations and pursuits no longer fed you. Your spirit was growing, and growth often feels like discomfort before it feels like strength. I chose you to hear this revelation now, not because you are better than others, but because you are ready. Readiness is not about having everything together. It is about having a heart that can be honest, a heart that can listen, a heart that is tired of pretending. You reached a point where you stopped running from the deeper questions. You stopped numbing the ache inside you. You allowed yourself to feel, to wonder, to hope again, even when hope felt risky. That openness created space for my voice. There were times you thought you were falling behind while others moved ahead. You measured your life against theirs and felt pressure, doubt, even shame. But you were never behind. You were being prepared in a different way. I was teaching you endurance when others were learning speed. I was teaching you discernment when others were chasing approval. I was teaching you how to stand alone with me so that later you could stand strong among many. Preparation often feels like delay when you do not see the full picture, but nothing in your life had been wasted. I have been calling you through whispers, through interruptions, through moments that made you stop and think. Sometimes I spoke through pain, not because I caused it, but because pain is a way of stripping away illusions. Sometimes I spoke through stillness because stillness makes room for truth. Sometimes I spoke through longing, because longing reminds you that you were made for more than what you can see. Each time you listened, even a little, your heart became more sensitive to me. This message is appearing now because you are standing at the edge of understanding. You are ready to see what was hidden, not hidden to keep from you, but hidden to protect you until you could carry it without fear. Truth changes people. It shifts priorities. It exposes false comforts. I waited until you were strong enough to let go of what no longer serves you. I waited until you could hear truth without running from it. That waiting was love, not distance. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness in your life and devotion to God. And if you want, you can donate to us via Super Thanks to show your support. I want you to know this deeply. You were chosen to hear this, but you were never forced. Love never forces. I invite. I call. I wait. And now you are here, listening, reading, sensing that this is not ordinary. That feeling is real. This moment matters. It is not about fear of missing out. It is about alignment. It is about your heart lining up with truth that will guide your steps forward. You may not see everything clearly yet, and that is okay. Revelation unfolds. It does not rush. For now, know this. I see you. I have always seen you. I have guarded you more than you realize. I have guided you more than you remember. And I am speaking to you now because the next part of your journey requires awareness, trust, and courage. You do not walk into it alone. I walk with you as I always have. Stay present. Stay open. Let these words settle into you. This is only the beginning of what I am revealing to you now. Listen to me carefully now, because what I am about to tell you must be received with your heart, not just your mind. The secret that has been hidden for years is not something the world could ever teach you. It is not information, not power, not success, not a formula for control or recognition. It is a spiritual truth, simple in words but deep in meaning, and it changes everything once it is truly seen. The secret is this: you were never being held back, you were being led inward. While the world trained you to look outward for answers, I was drawing you inward so you could finally learn to recognize my presence, my guidance, and my voice within you. The world is loud by design. Fear speaks loudly. Distraction competes for every moment of your attention. Noise fills your days so completely that silence feels uncomfortable. This is how many miss what truly matters. They run from stillness because stillness reveals truth. They fill every quiet space because quiet allows questions to rise, and questions require honesty. Fear taught them that if they stop, they will fall behind. Distraction taught them that peace can be postponed. Noise convinced them that fullness comes from having more, doing more, becoming more in the eyes of others. In all that chaos, the secret remained hidden, not because it was far away, but because it was close and gentle. I do not shout to compete with noise. I do not force myself into hearts crowded with fear. I speak in clarity, not chaos. I speak in peace, not pressure. That is why many passed by the truth without seeing it. They were looking for something dramatic, something impressive, something that fed their ego or promised control. But my truth comes quietly. It settles into those who are willing to slow down, to listen, to admit they do not have all the answers. That is why this revelation could not come to you earlier. Your life was being shaped so that when the truth arrived, you would not dismiss it. You experienced pain that confused you, delays that frustrated you, seasons where nothing seemed to move forward no matter how hard you tried. You questioned yourself during those times. You wondered if you were doing something wrong, if you lacked faith, if you were being punished or overlooked. But hear me now, clearly and without doubt, none of that was punishment. None of that was rejection. None of that was failure. It was preparation. I was teaching you endurance without bitterness. I was teaching you patience without despair. I was teaching you how to remain soft in a world that hardens people through disappointment. Pain refined your vision. It stripped away illusions you did not even know you were holding. It taught you what does not satisfy, what does not last, what cannot hold your soul steady. Delay taught you that timing matters more than speed. Confusion taught you humility, the willingness to ask instead of assume. Each season you endured was shaping you into someone who could recognize truth without fear and carry it without pride. The secret could not be entrusted to someone who still needed noise to feel alive or approval to feel worthy. I know there were nights you asked why everything felt so heavy. I know there were mornings you woke up tired of trying to understand. I know there were moments you felt lost even while doing what you believed was right. In those moments, I was closer than you realized. I was teaching you how to trust me when clarity was absent. I was teaching you how to keep walking even when the path was not fully visible. That kind of trust cannot be learned in comfort. It is formed in uncertainty, strengthened in waiting, and proven in perseverance. Suffering was not sent to harm you. It was allowed to position you. Positioning is not always visible on the outside. Sometimes it happens quietly, inside the heart, where motives are purified and desires are reordered. You were being positioned to see beyond appearances, beyond surface-level answers, beyond the shallow promises of the world. You were being positioned to recognize that life is not about constant progress, but about alignment. Alignment with truth. Alignment with purpose. Alignment with me. Many people avoid suffering at all costs, and in doing so, they avoid depth. They remain surface level, easily shaken, easily misled. You went through what you went through because I knew you could grow through it. I knew you would not lose yourself completely. I knew that even when you questioned, you would not close your heart. That willingness to stay open, even when it hurt, is what prepared you to receive what others could not see. That is why this secret remained hidden to many but is now being revealed to you. The truth is simple, but it requires courage to accept it. You do not need to become someone else to fulfill your purpose. You need to return to who you were created to be before fear taught you to hide. You do not need more noise, more validation, more striving. You need clarity, honesty, and trust. I have been leading you away from the false urgency of the world and into the steady rhythm of truth. That shift felt like loss at times, but it was gain. It felt like isolation, but it was intimacy. It felt like delay, but it was protection. Every closed door protected you from entering something before you were ready. Every unanswered prayer protected you from outcomes you could not yet handle. Every moment of confusion taught you to lean on me rather than your own understanding. This is the part many misunderstand. They think faith means never questioning, never feeling lost, never struggling. But true faith grows through wrestling, through seeking, through staying when leaving would be easier. You stayed. Even when you felt tired, even when you felt unsure, something in you refused to give up completely. That something was my spirit working within you. Now the secret is no longer hidden from you. It was never meant to remain hidden forever. It was meant to be revealed at the right time, to the right heart. That time is now. Your heart has been softened by experience, humbled by waiting, strengthened by survival. You can now hear truth without running from it. You can now see meaning where before you only saw confusion. You can now understand that your story was never about falling behind, but about being set apart. Let this understanding settle deeply within you. Release the idea that your suffering defined you in a negative way. It shaped you, but it did not damage you. It positioned you, but it did not disqualify you. You are not broken goods. You are refined. You are not late. You are ready. And what I am revealing to you now will guide you forward with a steadiness you have never known before. I want you to understand why everything feels so unsettled now, why conversations everywhere seem filled with uncertainty, urgency, and searching. The world feels restless because something beneath the surface is shifting. People sense it even if they cannot explain it. Old systems no longer give comfort. Old promises no longer satisfy. What once distracted hearts is losing its power, and when distraction fades, restlessness rises. This is not chaos without purpose. It is the sound of hearts awakening to the truth that something deeper is missing. I am allowing this stirring because comfort kept many asleep, and sleep kept them from seeing what truly matters. Say amen. I'm stepping into my season of favor if you feel heaven opening over you. There is a quiet awakening happening, not loud, not dramatic, not announced with signs and noise. It is happening in private moments, in late-night thoughts, in sudden questions that will not go away. People are realizing that success without peace is empty, that connection without truth is shallow, that motion without meaning is exhausting. They feel a pull towards something real, something solid, something lies to. This awakening is gentle, but it is powerful. It does not shout. It whispers. It asks questions that demand honesty. It draws lines in the heart between what is real and what is false. At the same time, there is a separation taking place. Not a separation of people into groups you can easily see, but a separation of hearts. Some are turning inward with humility, willing to examine themselves, willing to let go of old lies. Others are hardening, clinging tighter to noise, anger, and control because truth feels threatening to what they built their identity on. This separation is quiet, almost invisible, but it is profound. It determines who will grow and who will resist. It determines who will hear truth clearly and who will only hear echoes of their own fear. Truth always surfaces when hearts are ready. I do not force it into places where it will be trampled or twisted. I allow it to rise when the hunger for it becomes greater than the fear of it. That is why now feels different. Hearts have been emptied by disappointment. Certainty has been shaken. Illusions have cracked. In that emptiness, there is room for truth to enter. In that shaking, there is openness. This is why people are talking, searching, sensing that something important is happening even if they cannot name it. But I must warn you with love and honesty. Many will hear about this awakening, but few will truly understand it. Hearing truth is not the same as receiving it. Understanding requires surrender. It requires letting go of pride, control, and the need to always be right. Some will hear these words and feel curious, but they will move on unchanged. Others will hear and feel uncomfortable, and they will reject it because it asks too much of them. Only those who are willing to be transformed will truly understand what is happening. You were prepared to understand because your heart has already been softened by life. You have already been stripped of certain illusions. You have already learned that certainty can collapse and that strength does not always look like confidence. That is why when you hear about change, awakening, and truth, something resonates instead of threatens you. You are not looking for escape. You are looking for alignment. You are not chasing excitement. You are seeking clarity. That is the difference. The restlessness you see everywhere is not a sign that the world is ending in despair. It is a sign that false foundations are being exposed. When what people trusted no longer holds, fear rises. But fear is not the final state. It is the doorway. What comes next depends on whether hearts choose humility or resistance. I am speaking now because you are standing at that doorway. You can choose to grow bitter or grow aware. You can choose to numb the discomfort or let it teach you. Do not be surprised that not everyone will walk this path with you. Awakening often feels lonely because it requires honesty, and honesty is rare. But you are not alone. I am with you, guiding you, steadying you, helping you see clearly when others are still adjusting their eyes to the light. Truth may not be loud, but it is persistent. It will continue to surface, again and again, until hearts either open or close completely. Stay grounded. Stay humble. Stay attentive. What you are witnessing now is not confusion without meaning. It is preparation. It is sorting. It is an invitation. And you were meant not only to see it, but to understand it. If you accept this revelation, something quiet but powerful will begin to change within you. It will not start with noise or sudden outward signs. It will begin inside, where fear once spoke the loudest. Peace will enter you, Not the kind the world offers that depends on circumstances, but a steady peace that remains even when answers are still unfolding. This peace will not mean you have no questions. It will mean your questions no longer control you. You will feel held instead of rushed, guided instead of pressured. The weight you carried without knowing why will slowly lift, because you will finally understand that you were never meant to carry everything alone. Clarity will follow this peace. Not clarity about every detail of your future, but clarity about who you are and who you belong to. Confusion will no longer have the final word. You will begin to recognize which thoughts come from fear and which come from truth. You will sense when something pulls you away from who you were created to be, and you will have the strength to step back. This clarity will not make life effortless, but it will make your steps steadier. You will stop second-guessing every decision, because you will learn to listen instead of panic. Courage will rise where hesitation once lived. Not loud courage, not reckless courage, but quiet courage that allows you to move forward even when certainty is incomplete. You will no longer wait for fear to disappear before you act. You will understand that courage is choosing trust while fear still whispers. This courage will help you speak when silence once felt safer. It will help you let go when holding on only brings pain. It will help you take steps you once postponed because you felt unready. You will realize you were never meant to feel fully ready, only willing. I promise you guidance, not as distant instructions, but as daily presence. I will guide your thoughts when your mind feels crowded. I will guide your heart when emotions feel overwhelming. I will guide your steps when the path ahead feels uncertain. You will begin to notice my guidance in simple ways, through a sense of peace about one choice and unrest about another, through timely words, through moments of understanding that arrive exactly when you need them. You will learn that I am not silent, but patient, and that my guidance often comes softly so that it strengthens trust instead of control. Healing will begin, not only in the places you expect, but in places you forgot were wounded. I will heal the shame you carried from mistakes you already confessed but never truly released. I will heal the guilt that told you you had to keep paying for your past. I will heal the fear that convinced you you were one wrong step away from losing everything. Healing does not erase memory, but it removes its power to define you. You will remember without reliving. You will look back without being pulled backward. You will stand rooted in the present instead of trapped in regret. Restoration will come, but it will look deeper than replacement. I do not only restore what was lost, I restore what was damaged. I restore confidence where rejection weakened you. I restore trust where betrayal taught you to guard your heart too tightly. I restore hope where disappointment trained you to expect less. Some things will return to your life in new form. Others will not return because they were never meant to stay. Restoration is not about returning to the past. It is about becoming whole enough to walk into the future without chains. I am calling you now to let go of fear. Fear has been a familiar voice, but it has never been a faithful guide. Fear taught you to shrink, to delay, to doubt what I placed within you. Let it go. Not by fighting it, but by choosing trust again and again. Each time you choose trust, fear loses strength. Each time you choose truth, fear loses its hold. You do not have to be fearless. You only need to be willing to move forward with me beside you. Let go of guilt. Guilt has already taught you what it could. It no longer needs to stay. You are not who you were at your worst moment. You are not defined by the seasons when you did not know better. I see your growth. I see your repentance. I see your desire to change. Release the idea that you must keep punishing yourself to prove sincerity. Obedience now matters more than regret then. Walk forward lighter. You were never meant to drag yesterday into tomorrow. Let go of the old identity that pain shaped for you. You are not only the survivor. You are not only the one who endured. You are not only the one who learned to cope. Those were seasons, not names. Your true identity is deeper. You are loved. You are guided. You are called. You are capable of growth beyond what you have imagined. When you cling to old identities, even painful ones, you limit what I can do through you. Release them. You are not losing yourself. You are discovering yourself. Obedience will lead you into a new season, but obedience is not blind submission. It is trust expressed through action. It is choosing truth when comfort tempts you to stay the same. It is choosing honesty when hiding feels easier. It is choosing growth when familiarity feels safe. This new season will not be perfect, but it will be aligned. You will sense that you are moving with purpose instead of drifting. You will feel grounded even when challenges come, because you will know why you are walking the path you are on. This new season will bring opportunities that require courage, relationships that require honesty, and choices that require discernment. You will not navigate them alone. I will be with you in every conversation, every decision, every turning point. When you stumble, I will steady you. When you doubt, I will remind you. When you grow tired, I will strengthen you. Obedience does not remove difficulty, but it ensures that difficulty produces growth instead of despair. Accepting this revelation does not mean life becomes quiet forever. It means noise no longer rules you. It means storms no longer define you. It means your foundation becomes deeper than circumstances. You will still feel emotions, still face challenges, still experience moments of uncertainty, but you will face them anchored instead of adrift. That is the transformation I am offering you. Not escape from life, but fullness within it. Stay open to this work. Transformation unfolds over time, through small choices, daily trust, and continued listening. I am patient with you. I am committed to you. And I am leading you into something new, something truer, something that reflects who you were always meant to be. Stay with me a little longer. Do not rush past this moment or treat these words lightly. I speak to you now with love, but also with truth that must not be softened. This is a warning, not born from anger, but from care. When light is offered and turned away from, the heart slowly forgets what it felt like to see clearly. I do not say this to frighten you. I say this because I value you too deeply to remain silent. What I am offering you now is not something to be postponed, analyzed endlessly, or set aside for a later time you assume will come easily. Moments of clarity are gifts. When ignored, they do not disappear loudly. They fade quietly. Type Amen. I trust every promise written for me if God's word is your anchor, and share this video.